Tailgate talking on a Sunday afternoon. So let's call up the boys, bring a case or two, cause we ain't got nothing to lose. I know we were tailgate talking on a Sunday afternoon.
Before we start today's episode, we want to give a big shout out to our first sponsor, TBE Sports. If you're looking for any sports apparel, hit them up at tbesports.net.
Once you get there, check out their website, anything you guys may need. Promo code WeHoo24 at checkout to get an additional discount. Again, thank you to TBE Sports for being our first official sponsor. Let's get into today's podcast.
The best ever, baby.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back to another episode of the Tailgate Talk. I feel like we say this every time we have this podcast, but I feel like today's guest is a little extra special because it's I don't know, it's you're kind of related to this guy.
Some say that we share parents and shit.
You know, but very, very privileged to know this individual. You know, obviously, Chris is a really good friend of mine. We've talked about our friendship on the podcast, and I've grown to have a good friendship with his brother, who is our guest today. So please help me welcoming Mr. Jacob Gonzalez.
Jacob Gonzalez. What's up? Some would say he was a basketball phenom back in his days.
Really? What happened?
Nah, far from that.
I don't know.
We'll ask him.
The guy got into running, bro. So I don't know.
But this one kind of hits different. And for those that watch the pod, we usually have like a list of questions of what we want to ask the audience. And today,
before you even go on, you guys stop what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Go like, comment, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe.
Yeah, you got to.
When we get a good amount of subscribers and stuff like that, we're planning on a big giveaway. So you want to make sure to be subscribed before we even do that.
Yeah, but
sorry, dude. I know you might lose your train of thought.
Yeah, but no, like we said, we usually have a script in a sense of questions we want to ask the certain individual who's joining us. But today we said, you know what, we'll just wing it.
100%.
You know, and real quick, I just want to give him a big shout out. He just completed his first Ironman, half Ironman, which doesn't matter if it's half or full. I mean, dude, an Ironman itself is impressive. So congratulations to that, bro.
Thank you.
You've inspired your brother to start moving, you know, not to say that he wasn't moving, but
I wasn't moving, bro. I was not moving.
But he's inspired me too, so I want to do that next year with him also. So hopefully, you know, that comes through. But just dude, take us into that. Like, now we're gonna jump right into it. How did that go for you?
Nah, it was really good, man. Honestly, it went just as I expected it to go. Honestly, if you know me, I'm like, I think out of this world. I try to be out of this world. My personality, the way I am, I shoot for stuff that I know I can't achieve. But the further you shoot is the closer you'll get to achieving everything you want in life, right? And that's kind of how it was with this Ironman. My goal was to finish in 5 hours 30 minutes, and I finished in 6 hours 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, the average person that does an Ironman the first time they do it doesn't really they don't really get even kind of close to that. So I was proud, bro. I mean,
Real quick, I don't think the average person even does an Ironman. Just to throw that out there, you know, because I've never done one.
Yeah, I mean, the stats on that are crazy too. Like, it's like 0.01%, and then for a full Ironman, it's like 0.001% of people that do it. So it was cool. Like, I never really saw it as that though. Like, I kind of just, I mean, when you have a battle with your mind, and that's kind of what it is. When you kind of
100%.
When you have a battle with your mind, and like you're trying to figure out stuff in life, like, there's no other place to take it than like the deepest place you can take it, right? Like, and what I mean by that is like, for a moment there, I was kind of like in a battle with my mind, kind of going kind of like, where am I going to do next? Like, I've achieved this, or I've had this happen, or I'm not the best today, I'm not this today. How do you beat your mind? How do you allow yourself to really like tell your mind, like, I run it. You don't run me, I run you, right? And this was one of the things that took me there, right? Like, when you're on mile 50, 60, there's nowhere else to go but your mind. You know, you're running, and every stride that you take, you're in your mind, and you're telling yourself, what do I do? What do I do next? And throughout this whole journey, I always told myself, like, every day, every single day, one step closer, I'm one step closer, and not necessarily to finishing the goal of becoming the Ironman 70.3 or finishing the Ironman 70.3, but it was more towards like every day that I wake up and I continue to do this, I'm getting one step closer to my goal. And I always tell this, I coach basketball, I coached high school, middle school, whatever. And I told all my kids always, if you're going to go up a ladder, how do you go up the ladder? You can't take a big leap. You can't. It's one step at a time, one step at a time. And it's a small step. It's small steps. It's small steps. And and sometimes you'll have your days or weeks where you take a step back. But just because you take a step back doesn't mean you're not going to take 4 or 5 steps closer to your goal within a week, within a month, whatever it is. And that's kind of how I went about going about my Ironman. Just one step closer every day. One step every day was a step closer to me making sure that I did what I set my mind to, you know?
And you know what's crazy, bro, is that I remember, this is probably back, I want to say November. And this is when I was kind of training for my first half marathon. And I was posting that I was running, say, 6 miles that day. And you were like, damn, bro, like, you're fast. And I was running, like, at a, 9:30 pace. Yeah. Which is, I mean, to me, and before we talk about that real quick, like, if you're running, it doesn't matter what pace you have. As long as you're out there doing it. You know what I mean? Like, my biggest thing is, like, if you're out there doing it, whether it's a 10-minute pace, 11-minute pace, if you're out there running, you're making yourself better. You're talking about it, getting one step closer to your goal, right? But going back to it, this was November, bro. And you were telling me, like, damn, bro, like, you're fast or whatever. And I'm sure I could go through my Instagram and we'll put this on here, you know? And to come back, say, 6 months or, 7 months later, and now you completed an Ironman. Yeah. That's what I thought about it, bro. When I saw the videos, and honestly, dude, you can ask Chris. I was texting your brother and telling him, like, bro, like, this dude's a bad motherfucker, man. Because you went from, and I remember seeing your runs, and yeah, you were probably keeping up at the pace that I was. And then as time kept going, I started seeing it. You went from running 2 miles every day to like 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, you know, and then you started telling me, oh, I'm running Mount Cristo Rey. You were doing all these things, and I was like, damn, like, this dude's really getting after it, you know? And everyone's hit me to ask you, and maybe this is my fault as your friend, to ask you, like, hey, like, are you okay, bro? In my thought, I was like, nah, this fool just probably has, like, an addictive personality.
Yeah,
like,
which he definitely does, bro.
He wants to get after it and get to work, but, dude.
It's a family characteristic, bro.
Yeah, but seeing that, dude, I was like, damn, dude, like, it kind of took me back, and I was like, dude, like, this fucker, again, bad dude, bro.
Yeah,
bad
no,
dude.
that's cool. That's cool to hear, bro. Honestly, like, that's cool that you say that, bro. Because I had a few friends that would reach out and be like, bro, like, are you all right? Like, what's going on? You jump from not doing any running, no endurance, nothing, to like all this crazy stuff. Like, how are you doing it? And truth be told, bro, it wasn't even through myself. It wasn't even because I wanted to do it, bro. No one wants to go out there and run, bro. That. David Goggins says it, bro. Like, I don't want to fucking go run.
It's hard, bro.
I don't want to go out there and do what I'm doing, but I do it because I need to allow myself to like take in who I can become from that. Like, running is hard, bro. You go, when you're lacing up your shoes, bro, and you're about to run, bro, like, and you're about to run 10 miles, 15 miles, whatever it is, like, you look at yourself and you say, all right, let's go. I'm going to go compete. And it's not with anybody. It's against yourself, right? 100%. And it's against your mind, bro. And that's the cool thing, right? And when I got into endurance sports, I guess you could say, that's what it was, man. I mean, I went through I wouldn't say rough, but I went through a time where I was just partying, bro. Partying. Within that partying time,
that's also a family trait.
I was working my ass off too. I was working every single day, long hours. And I became unhealthy, bro. And I got to like 215 pounds, bro. And in high school, I was 150 pounds, right? So within those 5 years that I got out of high school, 4 years, I gained so much weight. And I became unhealthy, and for 6 months straight, once a month, I was in the hospital for my back. I would get stuck. My back would get locked up. And the last time I got the flu, it wasn't even for my back. And I was in the hospital. I didn't even test. So it was like I had the flu for like 2 weeks, whatever. After the flu, I still felt like shit. I went to the hospital, and the doctor was like, man, you're just super unhealthy. Like, you're an unhealthy kid. Like, what are your habits? Do you eat bad? Do you drink a lot? And I told him, like, I drink a lot. I eat shit.
I drink.
And he just told me, like, that's it. Like, you need to get healthy. If not, this is your life. Your back being messed up, you being sick all the time, that's your life. From that point on, I cut out alcohol. I stopped drinking. Yep. I went 9 months sober. And every day I told myself, all right, battle between you and yourself. What's up? Who's going to win it? you or yourself. And that's when I got into running. And so I trained for the Ironman for 4 months, but I was 9 months sober, like I said. So for 5 months, I didn't do no swimming or no biking. I was just doing running. And I told my brother this the other day because, like you said, he's getting into the endurance side, and it's really like a, how do you say, like it's really like a you versus yourself, and you have to tell yourself every single day, like, I'm gonna beat myself. I'm gonna be myself. But you have to show up and you have to do it. And that's where it made me stay consistent. It took me into like another part of my life where like there was nothing to do except go out there and run and tell myself, like, I'm gonna be better tomorrow. I'm gonna be better tomorrow. I'm gonna be better tomorrow. And I loved it, bro. Like I like you said, addictive personality. I got addicted to it, bro.
And then I know you might want to say some things, but
No,
real
you guys
quick, I could see that and I can translate to that because again, like I went from like not even doing any exercise and I started running and it becomes addictive, bro. Like I feel like, and I'm sure you can attest to it too, like you wake up, you don't want to run. You know, you're lacing up your shoes and you're trying to tell yourself like, you'll just do it tomorrow. You'll do it later, you know? But then you say you do take a day off because obviously your body needs to rest. Like that's one thing I learned from my brother, and he told me like you need rest days, bro. Like you can't run every day. Like you need a rest. You need to let your body rest. And on those rest days, I felt guilty. I was like, how come I didn't get working today? Like how come I didn't work? You know? And there was even times where like, and shout out to my boy Simon who's in the background.
Simon.
He'd be telling me like, yo, let's go drink, and I'm like, nah, bro, I got 6 a.m. tomorrow. And he'd be like, oh, you're a bitch. But in my head, I'm like, nah, like I'm not a bitch. I'm gonna wake up and run 6 tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just crazy, bro. And hopefully, I know you're gonna keep doing it, Chris, because I'm gonna hold you accountable, and you're gonna hold me accountable. But it's gonna come. Those days are gonna come. Like, and I've gone back to this in that book that I lent you, "Can't Hurt Me" by David Goggins.
Yes, sir.
He puts a fucking sticky note on the mirror. Have you read that book?
I haven't.
Hopefully you finish it and you can lend it to your brother.
I've had it for 2 years?
Yeah. But he puts a sticky note on the mirror and he tells himself, stop being a bitch. Stop being a bitch. And who else to tell you to stop being a bitch than yourself? You know, and I feel like that's when it hits deeper, you know, like,
100%.
And when you're running, dude, like your thoughts are everywhere. You know, I feel like I've had some of the best ideas while I'm running. You know, I felt like I've had like the most intense moments with myself while I'm running. There's been runs, and I'm not afraid to say that I've like cried because like I'm just going through shit, right? Everybody has their shit going on.
1000%.
But I've cried, you know, and there's nowhere better to cry than while you're on a fucking run.
Yeah,
and it's
sure.
like we started talking about this before about ultra marathons, right? About hallucinations, and I mean, I started crying on like on a fucking 3-mile run, bro. But I started crying on 0.25, right? But it comes that thought in your mind where you're just like, damn, bro, like. It just feels good to release all that, bro.
No, 100%. It does, bro. And you go through like a whole gallon of emotions, bro, as you're running, and people don't realize it. I remember when I hit my first 10-mile run, and it seems so wild in my mind because a 10-mile run doesn't seem crazy anymore.
Shit, to me it still does.
It's so crazy to do. It really is so crazy to do. Crazy. But I remember my first 10-mile run, my girl texted all my family group chat and said like, hey, Jacob's on a run. Everyone send him a voice memo. I had my AirPods on. At that time, I was training with music because towards the end, I stopped training with music for those last 4 months. But I have my AirPods in, and my dad sends a voice message. My brother, my brother's wife, my girl, my mom, and all these emotions are just coming in, and I'm just like, holy shit, man! Like this is a blessing. Like, and it's cool that you say that because like perspective is a real thing, bro. Like
yes, sir.
the way you view your life, the way you take things in day to day, it's big, man. Like if you wake up on a Monday and like in your mind you see it as a Friday, like the way that Friday feeling gives you, and you just live every day like that. Every day is a great day, right? But even just at that, like you said, there's days where you get up and you don't want to do anything. You don't want to run. You don't want to do anything, but perspective, like I said, the way you view it is what's going to dictate how you do it, right? So when I would wake up and I would tell myself, I don't want to run, like I don't want to do this today. But then I would think back and I'll be like, wait, 5 months ago, I couldn't even get up from my bed. Like my back was fucked up. Like I could do this. And you know, that's something that during the race, you catch people on the bike ride, or you catch people on the run, and you catch a conversation with them. And that's the cool thing about doing an Ironman is it's a bunch of like-minded individuals, that share the same goals, they have the same discipline, they have the same consistency. And I remember I would tell people on purpose because I wanted to remind myself as I was telling the other people, but I would always tell them like, just remember it's a gift from God that we're allowed, like we're able to do this. Like there's people that wish they can do this. And we're running and there's a person next to me that's wanting to give up and wanting to quit, and I'm telling them like, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing. Like I would tell them like, it's a blessing. And I wasn't just telling them just to tell them, but just to remind myself like, I'm able to do this, bro. Like people can't do this and I'm able to do this. Like I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going to live in the moment. And that's a big thing, bro. Like during my race, bro, I lived in the moment. I remember riding the bike and I'm riding through the mountains, bro. And I'm just like, I'm looking around, bro. And I'm just like, damn, how much of a blessing, like, is it to just be able to do this, bro? Like all my families came out, like all these people are doing what they can to try to like finish. And it's a blessing, bro. It really is. Like I said, and it sounds like a broken record, but people can't do it.
Yep.
And you're able to do it. Why not take advantage of that, bro? You have one life, like make the most of it. Treat your body like it's the only body that you have, because it really is, right? You know?
And that kind of brings me, like, it reminds me of what Jaden Wilson said on the last podcast. You know, his brother has Down syndrome, and he's, you know, he flat out told us in the podcast, like, you know, like I wouldn't be here without my brother, because one, he'll never be a D1 athlete. He'll never get good grades. You know, he'll never live a fully normal life. He's like, so why, like, if I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm, you know, wasting that because I'm fortunate enough to have these opportunities, he's like, I would be disgusted with myself.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
100%.
And it goes back to, not to cut you off, bro, but I brought this up. I think it was the Ariel pod where she said whatever she said, and it was the guy that's sitting looking out the window because he can't walk, looking at the guy walking, right? And then the guy walking is looking at the guy on the bike like, damn, I wish I had a bike. And then the guy in the bike's looking at the guy in the car, right?
Exactly,
and we can keep going on that.
Yeah.
But it's true. Like, if I can do it, like, it's a blessing.
And,
you know, it's a blessing from God.
I love that you say that, bro, because when I coached at Ysleta, and I always tell everybody, I give my life to, like, Ysleta High School basketball, bro. And it's not because, you know, people make fun of it, like, oh, like, you're still living in high school. And it's not that at all, bro. It's really not that. Like, it was just the fact that Ysleta made me realize, like, there's two sides to things. And I have a fucking tattoo. It says "Love Yours, Bro," right? And then J. Cole's one of my he is my favorite artist of all time. But he says, like, in "Love Yours," he says, like, there's someone down the block that has what you want, but there's also someone down the block that has a worse life than you do. And that's Ysleta, bro. Coaching at Ysleta, coaching the feeder at Ysleta, like, you just realize that, right? And I always tell my kids, like, there's kids that wish that they can come out and do what you're doing. There's kids that wish that they can get a ride from their friend, that don't have to wait in a line, that are in Mexico right now to get to school. Like, what you have, like, don't take it for granted, because there's people that are going through worse, you know? And it's cool that you say that, man, because kids don't understand that nowadays, right? Like, and
just to, like, put the cherry on that, you ain't ever gonna be happy till you love yours, my guy.
Yeah,
Facts.
for sure, man.
Shout out J. Cole.
100%. And I try to. That's my biggest thing, man. I don't do. Obviously, doing stuff for yourself is, like, the sickest thing, right? You feel good about yourself, but, like, I don't do things for myself. Like, at the end of the day, you have to, right? But I never do anything for myself, man. Like, to this day, like, I always try to do what I can for, just to make my parents happy, to make my brother happy, to make my friends happy. I want to be that person that my friends, my brother, my family are saying, like, yo, I know that guy. Like, that's my friend, bro. Like, that's who I hang out with, bro. That's my goal, bro. Like, that's the only thing I want to do. Like, and that's why I, like, coaching the basketball team that I coach, coaching the young kids that I coach. Like, I still keep in touch with all of them to this day, bro. They all just graduated. I've known them since they were 7th graders. They just graduated high school. Some of them have $5 million scholarships to Texas Tech. Some of them aren't even going to go to college. Some of them are going to military. But every single one of them, bro, to this day, like, they all text me, and that's the best thing, bro, because it just knows that, like, I'm not doing it for no money. I'm not doing it for none of that. I'm doing it to give back, to show, hey, I know what it's like, but I'm going to show you guys, hey, this is what you got to do to get there, right? You know?
And how does that make you feel, bro? I don't want to get on the emotional side of this, but...
Nah, and I was about to bring that up, man.
How does it feel having your brother say, like, I'm not doing this for me, I'm doing this for my family, for my parents, for my brother? Like, what do you take from that?
I mean, I'm gonna apologize in advance because I'm definitely gonna get emotional, bro. But you know, he kind of brings up in the beginning like why he kind of got into it, and sorry, guys.
No, you're good, bro. Take your time.
I mean, as an older brother, bro, there's like a period of time where I'm seeing him kind of live his life, and I'm like, okay, well, I used to do that kind of stuff too, right? So I'm not gonna be that hypocrite and, you know, kind of get on his case, right? I'm sure my parents are doing that enough.
And by this, you mean like the party?
The partying and stuff like that, bro. And I can kind of see him just heading down a similar path to myself when I was his age. And, you know, it was, me and him are very close. And around that time, like, we weren't really communicating like we did before. And I was, you know, obviously as an older brother, you're worried. And yeah, I could just kind of see him, like how he mentioned, he's going to the doctor, he's always sick, his back's giving out. He's kind of not, you know, from the outside looking in, I don't think he's happy, you know, with his life. So obviously it starts kind of scaring you a little bit, right? And you're like,
that's little bro.
It's little bro, exactly. So, you know, when he makes a decision to get sober and to start running and stuff, bro, it reminds me of we've shared this before too, about Dustin Poirier, where he kind of comes out and talks about his mental health, and he says, like, if I don't have something to work towards, I'm kind of a detriment to myself. You know, and Jacob, like, this guy tells me, he's like, dude, he sends me the reel. He's like, yeah, brother, that's me. Like, I need something to look forward to. Like, in high school, I had basketball, you know, and now that I'm working, it's like, you know, I'm making good money. I'm have a bunch of, he had a Raptor when he was like 20 years old, bro. Like, has a bunch of nice things. He had his own place in the West Side. So I think for him, like, from the outside looking in, obviously I don't want to speak for him, but he's kind of like, fuck, like, this is all life has to give, you know, and he kind of got lost a little bit. So to see him kind of have the mental capacity, bro, to kind of sit down with himself and, you know, be self-aware and be like, hey, you know what? Obviously, I got to make a change. Like, as an older brother, bro, like, you know, like, everything I did as a kid was to try to help him be a better man, right? So when you're seeing him kind of stray off that path and then kind of find his way back on the right path and you know, make decisions and, you know, do better for himself, it made me fucking proud, bro. Like,
No, and honestly, bro, I love this. You know, I love that we could have this talk as men. You know, and men are allowed to feel their emotions, bro. So don't feel bad for shedding tears. And that's your little brother, bro. That's family. You know, and I consider you a brother. So why wouldn't I consider him a brother too? You know, so that's why, honestly, dude, like, through Instagram and all that, you see people post things all the time. I don't bat an eye to other people, bro. Yeah, cool. They ran a marathon, whatever. You know, but it made me proud too.
yeah.
So I'm not saying that I'm his big bro, but like, dude, I see you as family as well. You know, and we've shared conversations, and it makes me happy seeing Chris like this. You know, because I don't know if you watched the last pod or Chris told you about it, but we had a meeting with a potential like sponsor, and they asked if we were family. He was like, "Are you guys related?" And we were like, "No, bro." And he was like, "Oh, it's because you guys are like, you guys have the same like mindset, right? Yeah. The same energy." And that meant a lot to me because me and Chris have shared some words, you know, over drinks, and I feel like when you have drinks, it gets a little like more intimate, you know, especially as men.
Pause.
Whoa. Hard pause.
My bad.
But nah, man, like, it makes me really happy to see your brother be like this. But I know I asked him, how did it make him feel to hear you say that? So how does it make you feel?
Nah, that's the best thing ever, man. I mean, it's
to me, bro, and I'm little bro, right? And not to cut you off, I'm little bro, and I've had conversations like this with my brother where we're both, you know, emotional, and he tells me I'm proud of you. So as a little brother, that's everything. And I'll let you say what you want to say about this, but when my brother told me, like, bro, I'm proud of the man you've become, I was just like, damn. Like, and it's not to knock my dad off, right? I love my dad. Dad's number one forever. But when you hear bro say it,
yeah, it
hits so different, bro. It hits so different because you aspire to be like your brother.
Yeah.
You want to be your brother. You want to one-up your brother. You grow up hating your brother because he picks on you. He does all this shit. And I know, I mean, me and my brother have an 11-year age gap.
Picked on that motherfucker a lot, bro.
Yeah, I fucking hated my brother growing up, bro. Dude, that dude.
Hey, you're a real one, Chris. Forget this guy.
Nah, that dude, bro. he would, and I'm gonna say it, bro. He would get me in this move called the Spankinator. So just Spankinator. So it's like so pretend I'm big bro. My head would be right here. Oh, shit. He would put my arms on the side, and he would grab my legs over his legs. So my butt's literally right here, and he would just fucking But no, it wasn't any like pop. No, this dude was yes,
oh my
bro.
God, bro.
I'm not gonna say what he would do.
I was gonna say, don't fucking say, don't even bring up what we used to do to this guy.
Jeez, yeah. Should we call CPS or something?
Might have to. What's the brother parental services?
Looking back, man, like to hear my brother say it, my older brother, my little brother, like it's the best thing ever, bro. Because, like you said, like I always I aspired to be my brother. Like I grew up, started playing baseball, wrestling, like. But it was always like my brother's the best at it, or like my brother's good at it. So I'm gonna try to be better than him. I'm gonna try to do what he can. And I think I'm a very visual learner with everything. I feel like if I see somebody do something, I can do it. Like with work, with everything, with basketball, bro. I feel like if I can just see someone ride a bull and see the correct form method, I feel like I can get on a bull and I can do the same thing. And that's what I try to do with my brother. When he played college baseball. Like when he played sports in high school, there was stuff that I would see him do, and this is something that me and my friends talk about, me and my girl talk about. I'm a big observer, bro. I observe everything. I look at details. And people don't think I do, but I do. I really do. And I try to be like him. I would do everything that he did. And to hear him say it now, it's the coolest thing, bro. And even just to like he said about Dustin Poirier, like. When I sent him that, I didn't even realize that he really like took that into account, like what I was actually sending him. And I sent it to him prior to like the arrest of Dustin and all that.
It's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be bad.
I sent it to him prior to that, but that was just like a testament to like what he was saying was true. And it's the same thing with me, man. Like I wouldn't say I had the best life growing up. We didn't have the best life growing up. Like it was definitely rough.
Yeah.
But like I had a reason to be good. Like I had to be good in school because of basketball. I had to be good in middle school because my mom was a teacher and the principal was there. So I had to there was always something to hold me accountable for what I was doing. And just becoming a grown up, having your own place, making your own money at the age that I was making it at. And not that I make crazy money, right? But I work my ass off, and I feel like I make what I deserve, right?
You enjoyed the fruits of your labor.
Yeah, for sure.
Too long, if you want to say, right?
You know, like I had nothing at that point. There was nothing for me to keep me disciplined.
Cool.
I was living by myself. My parents couldn't tell me anything. No one could tell me anything. Like, and kind of catching track again. And like getting close to my parents again, it was the best thing ever, bro. Like my parents, like I said, my parents didn't know what I was doing, the amount of partying I was doing and stuff like that. So, but my brother did. When I eventually got straight, my brother saw it, and like him telling me like I'm proud of you and stuff like that. Like you said, like hearing that I'm proud is the coolest thing ever, man. Like,
and I mean, I can speak as an older brother. Like when or I'm sure your older brother Chris can attest to this. Like. When you look at me, you're like, brother, I look up to you. Like, that shit means the world to me, right? So, obviously, like, it inhibits my mentality to be like, hey, I got to walk the straight and narrow. Because if not, little brother's going to follow in my footsteps, right? Yeah. And I say this a lot on multiple podcasts, and Brandon can be my witness, dude. Like, yes, you're my younger brother, dude, but I take so much inspiration from you and, like, the way you carry yourself. Since you were a little kid, bro, you've always, like, seeked thrill. Yeah. You've always wanted to do, like, the crazy shit, dude. Yeah. You know, so everything that he does is extreme. Like whether it's good, whether it's bad, it's all extreme. So it's sometimes you can sway off the path a little bit depending on what you're doing. But I was very, like I said before, I fucking started crying like a female. You know, like I was happy that you were able to find yourself and get back on the right path. You know, on your own because
and that's so dope that you say that because growing up. I had a coach Sapien. Shout out Coach Sapien. He's one of my
he'll repost it too, bro. He's a real one.
And he always took care of me, and he was my coach from the 6th grade. I've known him. I met him in the 6th grade all the way to my senior year. And the one thing he would always tell me, and he knew me, he knows me. He knew that the way I was, the way my body language was. But the one thing he would always tell me was, everyone gets off track in life. Everyone gets off track in life, but it's not about getting off track. It's about how you get back on track, and how you get back to where you need to be. And that was the coolest thing, man. And I always took that in life, like. And that's the same thing as like the ladder thing. I would tell my kids, you take steps forward, but
that's a great analogy, by the way.
You're gonna take steps back, but just because you fall on your ass while you're climbing the ladder doesn't mean you can't get back on it and go faster climbing, because you learned, hey, I missed a step there. Now I know not to take that step or to take a different step, and I'll be good. You know. Shout out to Coach Sapien. He'd always instill that in me. And as we spoke earlier about Ysleta basketball, like. The reason why I love them so much, I love Ysleta, the community, Lower Valley, all that, is because
Coach Puente.
They were the ones that instilled all that in me, man. Coach Puente, Coach Sariana, Coach Sapien, they always taught me that, hey, just because you're good at basketball doesn't mean it's going to take you anywhere. I'm going to teach you how to be good at life. I'm going to teach you rules that are going to apply to basketball, but to life. And that's one of them, like, how hard I work and just everyday life with work and stuff like that. I instilled all that from a big part of it was from Ysleta basketball and Ysleta, the Ysleta community. You know?
And real quick, since you're talking about Ysleta basketball, you were a part of the team that went the furthest in Ysleta history.
Yeah.
You went to the regional quarterfinals in 2021.
Yeah.
That was your senior year?
Yeah, my senior year.
Yeah. And let's talk about that. And let's sway off the whole real talk and
that was
sports.
The coolest thing ever, man. And shoot, they say it. My friends make fun of me, but if I can go back and relive that, man, I would relive it every day of the week. Bro.
Shit.
Like, we were a testimony, a living testimony of like see the process through. Like
Facts.
Me and all my guys, all my boys, like we played together since we were in the 3rd grade. We lost countless times, and I don't even see losing as losing majority of the time. It's very rare that I see losing as losing. But we lost a lot. And from the 3rd grade, we started together in 3rd grade. 3rd grade all the way to our senior year, we grew together. And we proved a lot of people wrong, man. From my freshman year, I played JV basketball. Got picked up for a tournament. Didn't play a minute. Didn't even suit out. Sophomore year, played varsity. Started a few games. Benched a few games. You know how it goes. My junior year, I took on a big role. I'm an alright basketball player. From my junior year to my freshman year, I let my talent just kind of take a hold of who I was, right? And my junior year, we made a good run. We lost to Andrus in the bi-district playoffs. They ended up going to Sweet 16. We lost to them. We were up like 20 at half. They came back and, they got us. But from that moment on, when I lost that game, I had told my coach Puente, we're not doing that again. It's not happening no more. I'm going to take this serious. And my coaches always told me, like, hey, if you actually took this sport serious, if you actually worked, like, you don't know who you would become. Like, you're doing all this off of natural ability. Like, how about you start working? And from that moment on, it was like, all right, let's go. And from that moment on, I freaking worked my butt off, bro, to get to where I was my senior year. And I hit up Joseph, my boy Rob at Top View. I hit them up and I said,
Shout out Rob.
Yeah, shout out Rob, shout out Joseph.
Shout out Joseph.
Those guys really took care of me. All of Top View, honestly, Mariana, my boy Jay, like all those guys, they take care of people there, man. They really do. And I hit them up and I told them, hey, like, this is my goal. This is what I want to do. I need you guys to get me where I want to be. And they told me how it was. They said, hey, we can help you get there, but you're the only person that can get there for yourself. You show up and you come, and we'll take care of you. And I freaking worked my butt off, bro. Anything you can imagine. I was doing 3 a days. I was waking up at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, going to the sand pit. Then right after that, I was going to Top View, getting my workout at Top View. And then I was going to Planet Fitness at the time. They had a free high school gig or whatever.
Yeah.
Going to Top View, working out there. And then during that, all that stuff, I freaking get a heart murmur. They tell me I can't work out for a certain amount of time during my senior year. I'm pissed off. I'm like, bro, I worked my butt off. What the heck? Everything lines up, and I go into my senior year, and just right off the bat, bro, like me and my buddy, his name's Omar, my best friend, known him since we were kids. I knew where he was at all times, bro. Like, that was my guy. We played Clint, and Clint had a really good team, bro. They had Marcus Juarez, a kid named John. They were them, bro. They really did it, and they beat our butt my junior year. They put it on us. First game of the year, my senior year, we play Clint. And me and my buddy Omar, we look at each other and we say, all right, This is where we make a mark.
Now we go.
And we beat them by like 50 points, bro. Like next game we win by 40. Next game we win by 40. Then we play the number 1 team in the city, Americas. They beat us, humble us. We go on. We keep winning. We keep winning. Then we get to district senior year and we play Bel Air, ranked 25 in the state. We lose to them in overtime. From that game on, we said, hey, I call my boys aside, and after every single basketball game, we would go to my parents' house, and I had an old school weight set. Like, my dad had to weld a leg on, like, old school weight set. It'd be 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. Keep in mind, this is COVID, so we don't have school the next morning.
Yeah.
Like, we're out there lifting, boom, 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 and we're talking, and he tells me, like, we lost to Bel Air today. Like, that shouldn't have happened. Like, we're not losing no more. Go on. We win the rest of our season out. We go on to play Bowie in the bi-district championship, and Bowie, you know who the Segundo Barrio is. You know who Bowie is.
Those kids are tough, bro.
You know that they're not more athletic than you. They're not gonna shoot the ball better than you. They're not doing any of that. They're just going out there to fucking play their ass off, and they're gonna work hard. They're gonna be gritty.
Physical.
They're gonna be physical.
100%.
And they came in and they did that. And at half, I had 0 points. My boy Omar had 0 points. MVP of the city, co-MVP with KJ Lewis, 5-star recruit. 0 points. We're playing against a kid from UTEP. He's at UTEP right now. Juan Camacho. He's a 6'7", huge
6'7",
huge dude. You know, he holds us to.
That's gonna be a clip.
Yeah, it has to be a clip. He holds us to 0 points, bro. And we go into halftime. We're just like, all right, let's go, and we went off, bro. And we ended up beating Bowie. We go and play Canyon Randall from Amarillo. Their coach had like 1,000 wins in his career. Coach was crazy. The stuff he would run was insane. And Coach Puente, I think Coach Puente is the best coach in the city, and I'll stand on that all 10 toes. Like he comes out with
we're gonna have you on the pod too, Coach.
Yeah, you guys got to get him. He comes up with a really good offensive plan to play their legendary defense. And that team was ranked 9th in the state. They ended up beating the number 2 team in the state, which is Amarillo. And they were like the Motwood Americas, Del Valle, Ysleta, Riverside, Riverside, Ysleta. They were rivalries, and they ended up beating them. And we were down 15 at half. I have 3 points at half. I ended up scoring 20 points in that second half, 15 points in that second half. We come back, we win. And it was the most magical thing ever, bro. The buzzer rings, and you're just like, you're looking at like all your teammates, and you're just like, bro, like,
we did that.
From 3rd grade to where we are now, we took so much loss. Like everyone told us transfer, go to DV, go to Americas, go to River, like go everywhere. And we stayed, we held it through together, and just seemed like having that moment was the best, bro. Just knowing that everyone from now on will always compare themselves to like our team
100%.
at Ysleta is the best thing ever, you know?
And like it's crazy because like he brings up like the Lower Valley, bro, and Ysleta Riverside. We just had the Solis brothers on the podcast.
Shout out Solis brothers.
Yeah, shout out to the Solis brothers, and shout out to the Lower Valley, man. I guess you could chalk it up to a bad rep, right? I don't think it is as bad as it used to be, but a lot of the kids, you know, they're undersized, undervalued, underappreciated in my eyes. And if you go to the Lower Valley of El Paso, bro, you're gonna find a bunch of dogs, like Jacob said, kind of like relating them back to the Segundo Barrio kids. But we have a lot of kids that are athletic, bro. We have kids that are like with size, and you know, with the
Justin Maese, bro.
Justin Maese, 3rd round draft pick, bro. You know, like the Lower Valley of El Paso is full of hidden gems, and it's unfortunate that a lot of the kids don't get an opportunity to go play. But you know how we talked about with the Solis brothers, you know, with technology, you know, all these advancements in recruiting. Hopefully, it gets them a chance to do so.
100%, 100%, and. Just going back to your senior year, bro. I know you said like you were with that team since the 3rd grade. That's how I kind of want to see like, and you've coached as well, and you've coached my son. Part of me just wants to tell you, bro, like let's just start basketball again.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly, man.
I'm gonna go run after this, bro.
Right? Like no, and just hearing what he's saying, you know, like it kind of takes you back to a place when you're in high school, right? I'm sure as he's speaking, you know, you're talking about high school. You're thinking about your high school days, and I was thinking about that, dude. It's like, dude, like, when I saw you coach, bro, and I was just on the side, like, yo, whatever drill you're doing, I can mimic it on this set, so we could get like two groups going, you know. Yeah. But dude, when I saw you coaching, like, I saw a different, like people have that eye, you know, like. Right now, we're just shooting the shit, but when you're coaching, like that don't look like Jacob.
No.
You know, like it looks like a whole different man. And I know you take passion for the sport of basketball. You know, and honestly, bro, like, not to knock what you're doing in life. You know, like you're very successful,
Yeah.
but dude, like I think you have a really great future in coaching.
And
You know, and you can take that as far as it will take you. But dude, like, and I'm a testament to it because I've seen it. You know, I've seen the way you've talked to these kids. You know, and just like how he said, like he takes some like inspiration from you. So did I. You know, like I'm a coach myself, and it's a totally different sport. But some of the stuff you would tell these kids, I'm like, okay,
Put
you
that one
know,
down on
jot
the
that
fucking
down.
notepad.
So let me tell you this. Before my boys leave practice, what do you think they do? What do you tell every kid before they leave practice?
oh, they gotta shake your hand.
Every kid shakes my hand now.
Yeah.
I gotta have that interaction with them, bro. Whether it was a good practice or a bad practice, hey, dab me up, everybody.
And I love that you say that, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, what I do, I love what I do. I really do. I truly love what I do. But I have a passion for coaching, man. I really do have. And I wouldn't say coaching. I have a passion for kids. I have a passion for kids, and it's not just because of the coaching or the sports. It's because of what I went through. Like, at one point, my brother was my father figure. My dad, if you know my dad, he's the most beautiful person on earth.
Shout out
Shout out
Creeper.
Creeper.
Shout out
Creeper, shout
Creeper.
out Creeper. He's the most beautiful person on earth, and all my friends call him pops. All my friends call him dad. All my friends talk to him like they're his boy. Like, my dad is he's an awesome person, but he had a rough path.
He really is.
He had a rough path, and I experienced it badly, very badly. And as my brother did, like I said, my older brother and my brother were both like father figures in my life, but I just try to be the best person I could possibly be to these kids because I know what it's like to not have a father figure at some point or to not have someone to lead you in the right direction. And when we were coaching together, like, there was a time where your son had told you, like, you just hate me. You hate me, Dad. Like, why you're so hard on me? And I pulled him to the side and I said, look, Pops, like, your dad loves you with all his heart. He does everything for you. Your dad takes you to every practice. Your dad coaches your team. Your dad does what he can for you. I was like, look, I want you to understand that your dad just wants you to be better. Your dad just wants you to be the best person. What I want you to do is go give your dad a hug and tell him you're sorry and that you love him and talk to him right. He goes and does that. You guys have a conversation. That's what I'm trying to do. Like, that's who I want to be. Like, I know this may be a sensitive topic, but like I said, like, my first group of kids just graduated. I talked to, out of the 11 kids that I had on my basketball team, my 7th grade, 8th grade year, I talked to 11 of them, all of them, every single one of them. I've had kids come up to me and tell me, Coach, can you buy me a condom? Coach, can you do this? And it sounds crazy, but I love that shit, bro. I love the fact that they're coming up to me and asking me for
They feel
that.
comfortable enough
Because
to do
they
that.
feel comfortable enough to do that. One of my best friends, bro, his name's Brandon, bro. I coached him. It was actually my little brother's best friend. I coached both of them. And now he's one of my best friends, bro. And I love that, bro, because, like I said, it holds...
It's just, you know, fitting that his name's Brandon. Just saying.
Yeah, right.
That's true.
But it just holds. It's
True.
It's another
Fucking,
thing.
that didn't even click.
It's another thing that holds me accountable, bro. If I really want these kids to listen to me, if I really want people to say, like, I'm gonna do what he's doing, you can't do the wrong things. You can't mess up. You can't go and promote the wrong things and then expect them to do the right things, right?
Facts.
And that's where it takes me. Like, I have my degree to coach, and I'm glad that you say, like, hey, think about your profession, because I have many times, and I love it, bro. I would do everything I can to get out on a basketball court. You know, it's just circumstances and how everything goes. It just doesn't work like that. But
Excuse me.
there's always in the back of my mind, and it will always be in the back of my mind, that I want to, my goal is to have a facility, you know, just be able to have kids come in. I didn't get the training that I wanted, bro. Like, growing up, my parents couldn't afford to put me through trainings, through all that stuff. I want to get to the point where I'm able to make enough to where I can be like, hey, you can't afford it? Let's go. Come on. It's all good. Get it right here, or shoot, do what you can, get here, and I'll help you out. I'll make sure I do it, you know? Because, like I said, like, I've seen it. I've seen the kids that have the potential but just can't get the help to get to where they need to get.
Yeah,
and I want to be that
100%.
help, right? You know?
And it's
That's
crazy.
me, like-
It's crazy, bro. Like, just to hear you speak, man. Like, as my younger brother, obviously, you know, like, I feel like, you know, some of the things I did, you know, for you growing up is kind of coming to light, and I take pride in that because I'm your older brother, and I'm, you know, obviously, like, since you were a young kid, I always try to set the example, and I have 2 young sons, and they're the same age difference between us. So it's like, for me, it's very. I told Mom today when we were at the house, like, I was like, "Your Mom, you know what's crazy? Like, being a father to Jalen and to Jax, like it reminds me of, you know, me and my brother. I was like, I feel like my sons are like my brothers in a sense, you know, like just because it reminds me so much of you, bro. Like, they're so much like their uncle. It's freaking crazy, bro. But I kind of went on a tangent there. But you bring up the word accountable, like holding yourself accountable. And I kind of want to give a message to young high school athletes right now, even young youth athletes right now. Holding yourself accountable, doing the right thing, like Jacob mentioned, is the only way to go about it. He also mentioned like 10, 15 minutes ago about how he didn't take basketball serious until his senior year of high school. And I remember, you can attest to this, I would tell you all the time, work your ass off, bro, because you're going to look back and you're going to be like, damn, I wish I could have worked harder to get, you know, further than what I did in like my collegiate career or whatever the case may be. So my advice to young kids, high school kids, do not waste a single freaking breath. High school is going to flash like this. I remember being a freshman, first day of freshman year, I get to baseball class and they tell me, bro, you better work your fucking ass off because it's going to go like this. And next thing you know, you're going to be graduating. And genuinely, the ride in high school and high school sports went just like that. Don't waste a second. You know, work your ass off.
And I feel like it's not just high school. I feel like it's like that with life.
100%.
My son starts school tomorrow, going to the 3rd grade. Where the fuck did those years go?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man. I have a daughter going to 5th grade, bro.
And it's like, obviously, you talk about putting hard work in high school, right? You don't want to do it just your senior year. Obviously, when it comes to like a kid, right? Like you're a child. Like, you don't want to do that until they're 21.
Yeah.
You don't want to have it click when they're a senior in high school. But it's like, dude, like it I remember people telling me like, oh, like, enjoy it because it goes by so fast. It goes by like that. Or, hey, enjoy the years because they grow up so quick. And in my head, I was like,
whatever.
Yeah, whatever. But now I look back.
It's the truth, man.
And I'm like, damn, dude, like, this kid's 8 years old, going to the freaking 3rd grade. Where did those years go?
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know? And I'm sure you probably thought the same in high school.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's your senior year. Oh, now I want to take it serious, but damn.
And
It's
I'm blessed.
It's my last year, yeah.
I'm blessed that I was able to catch at least my senior year, you know. But it's funny because I've had this conversation with a lot of people. My best friend, one of my other best friends, Sebi, his dad owns a huge business. And I remember sitting back and I'm having a conversation with him and I tell him the exact same thing. Like, I didn't start till my senior year. I wish I started my freshman year. He looks me dead straight in the eyes and he tells me, you know what's crazy though? And this was right after high school. He says, you're in your freshman year of life, of grown men. You're a grown man now. You're a freshman in life. Get after it. Now you know. From that moment on, it opened my eyes and I said, holy shit, he's right. I'm a freshman in life. I wish that I started as a freshman in high school, basketball-wise, but now I'm a freshman in life with work and with my journey of life. Let me attack it. Let me get after it. Let me do what I got to do, you know? And that leads to a bunch of stuff, like with coaching, with work itself, with just being a good person, with my personal stuff, my personal life, my friends and stuff like that. Like, I try to attack it like, hey, be the best. And that's something my dad instilled in me and my brother is like, whatever you're going to do, I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're a soccer player. I don't care if you're a basketball player. Whatever you do, I don't care what you do for work. You do your best at it.
Yep.
And that goes back to like when I coach your guys' kids, I have only coached high schoolers and middle schoolers. And I had a pretty good way of coaching them. When I got to your guys' kids, I had no clue what to do. And I said, we lost a few games. And I was like, I hate this. I'm going to search up, I'm going to research how to become a better coach for 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds.
To be fair though, you were coaching a bunch of baseball kids that never played basketball.
Like, it's like a bunch of kids that were legit at basketball, bro.
And I'll say this, like, if we were to play baseball against those kids,
oh yeah, you guys would kill them.
Exactly. But you know what was crazy to me? And I remember this, and I remember your face. It's our first basketball game. We had a couple of practices, but they win the tip-off. And we got the little point guard, he had a mohawk. And he's dribbling the ball between his legs, and he's calling out, Miami, Miami. And in my head, I'm like, Bro, we're teaching our kids just to stand in front of their
their
guy.
Or this is not a double dribble, bro.
Right,
Just going up.
and you got a kid over here calling out a play, and now you got the big guy coming up to set the screen for a pick and roll, and I'm just like,
He's doing the LeBron though.
oh man, I was just like, damn, it's gonna be a bad
Kobe.
game, and that was the first game of the season, and we played that team. We got our ass kicked. It's okay. It's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
You learn more from losses than you do from wins, but before you like tell yourself that you weren't a good coach, bro, you're a great coach. You were just coaching a bunch of kids that haven't played basketball.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like I said, like I went and I researched, bro. I literally went and I watched podcasts on the mental of 8-year-olds, how to get to them. That's when I went and I freaking bought them gift bags. They weren't winning, you know, and to get to a 8-year-old, you know, they love winning just as much as we do, right? And when they see them,
probably even more, bro.
yeah, probably
It's
more.
like,
And
it's
when
everything to them.
when they see themselves losing and not winning, they get down on themselves. As much as fun as it is in the moment, but when they lose, the clock ends. They get down on themselves. I got them a gift and I said, hey, you guys are losing, but you guys are growing. That first half of the season, we won maybe one game.
I think exactly one game.
That second half of the season, they start picking it up. We go, we win, we get second place in the silver division, you know, like they turned it around, you know, but that's just because like I truly invested myself in them and I wanted to be the best, right? Yeah. And that's just with everything I do in life. Like like I said, my dad tells me, like, if you're going to do something, you be the best, and I'll help you every step I can, but you have to help yourself. And my dad always told me growing up, like, I can set the foundation, but I can't build on the foundation that I'm going to set for you. So whatever foundation I'm building for you, you have to set it for yourself. And that's the same thing when I started my business. I was broke, bro. I was working at UPS from like 3 a.m. to 9 a.m., going to college. I had just got my degree. I had less than $50 in my bank account. And I tell my dad, hey, I've met some people, some really good people in my life. Like, I want to start a business. He said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to get into pools, cleaning pools, doing anything with pools. He said, what? I said, I want to do pools. He said, all right. He's like, I have $5,000. I'm going to give you all this $5,000. He's like, but if I give it to you, you work your ass off and you make the most of it. If you fail, I don't give a shit, but you do the best that you can at what you're going to do. Gives me the $5,000. I buy all the equipment, bro. And from that day forward, I told myself, I'm not letting my pops down. I'm going to work my fucking ass off. I'm going to do what I can to freaking make sure that the money that he invested in me is well worth it, right? You know? And I haven't looked back. Bro. And people don't know. And a lot, like I said, you hear the average guy say, I'm a pool boy. You don't really think much of it. You don't really, he cleans pools for a living,
You're a
right?
pool technician,
right? So like, yeah, like people to the average mind, it's like, well, he's a pool tech, right? And then eventually they see what I have. Like they see that the truck that I have, how I live my life and how I'm going about my life. And then you start getting the people like, hey, what the hell are you doing, bro? What are you doing? And there's no, and Rob said it, I believe. He said there's no secret to success, and I'll be the first one to say there's no secret to success in life. There's really not. To getting famous on Instagram, to whatever it is, to getting viewers on your guys' podcast. There's no secret. The only thing it is staying disciplined, staying consistent. You do it every single day. You show up, you wake up, and you do it consistently every single day. You get better every single day. You take a step on the ladder every single day. It's just consistency. It's just discipline. And I was telling my brother the other day, with consistency comes discipline. And when you get that trait of discipline, and when you learn discipline, that trait is a trait that carries over to everything in life. Discipline isn't just in one category of your life. It goes from work to coaching to how you view people, how you acknowledge people, how respectful you are, and I love it, bro. Like I love the fact that I was able to become consistent and disciplined in life, bro.
Fucking love this kid, dude.
I know.
You know, it's crazy, bro. Like we always jokingly say like younger brothers always better than their older brothers, and I humbly say that because I believe this with all my heart, bro. This kid is, you know, fucking twice the man that I ever thought he would be and twice the man that I am. And I genuinely believe that. I don't do that. I don't say that to disrespect myself because I feel like I hold myself and, you know, I take care of what I need to for my family, for myself. But, you know, it just makes me very proud to hear, you know, the way you carry yourself, bro. And, you know, because there's a couple things you said in here that I didn't even know. I didn't know you fucking had a heart murmur in your senior year. I didn't know dad lent you $5,000. The one thing I admire about you the most, bro, is that you move in silence. What does Lil Wayne say? Real G's move in silence like lasagna.
Yeah.
Like genuinely,
What a
bro.
bar.
And
Jeff, it's a bar.
I always tell people, because I'm very active on social media. Everyone knows it, bro. You guys see it. But
you have a fucking personality disorder, bro. You got like 17 different
yeah,
fucking.
and that's a cool thing, bro. I always tell people, like, I'm good at everything. I'm good at everything, bro. But I'm not great at one thing. I'm good at everything, and I will go out there and I'll be good at everything.
You're a jack of all trades, bro.
Master of none, exactly, right? But that's something like.
And real quick, bro, just to like, we're gonna feed his ego here, you know. Let's feed it a little bit, but in a good way.
Cómete la culo.
¿Cuál? Ay, güey.
Ay, güey, calmado, mi rey, calmado.
My son has had a lot of coaches in his life.
And you said you're the ugliest one, right?
Hey, yo.
I'm just kidding.
I know I'm not ugly, my boy.
Hey,
I'm just
yo,
kidding, my boy.
that's your brother, dog.
So I had to bring him down to earth a little bit, bro. Before we got some
Nah,
more.
real shit. My son has had a lot of coaches in his life, and he obviously when it's youth sports, it's always like Coach Brandon, Coach Chris, Coach Jacob, you know. So kids learn the name. They're on a first name basis in a sense, right?
Yeah.
There's very few coaches my son still puts the word coach in front of, and you're one of them.
I love that, bro.
And
It's a
when
blessing.
Brandon started playing basketball for the team he didn't coach anymore, he was second guessing me. Like, well, why isn't Coach Jacob coaching? I don't want to play for anybody but Coach Jacob. If I'm going to play basketball, I want to play for Coach Jacob. And that meant a lot to me, which is probably why I see it the way that I do, you know, because as a father, and hopefully the day that it comes that you become one, when your kid sees certain individuals as that, they mean that much more to you. For example, guy behind the camera, that's my best friend, Simon. My son doesn't call him Simon. My son doesn't call him Simon. My son calls him Theo Simon. Are we blood? No. But I've always said blood doesn't make you family.
Facts, bro.
Loyalty does.
Oh yeah, that's 100%.
100%.
100%.
100%.
I agree with that.
And that to me, for my son to speak the way he does about you, means the world to me. It kind of makes me want to push. And maybe I could have pushed it a little bit more, you know, because the whole basketball thing was kind of like me and you, right?
Yeah.
And maybe I could have pushed it more. Maybe we can moving forward. And hopefully this conversation sparks something
Yeah, for sure.
in that direction,
Always
right?
down.
And dude, like, I know you're his little brother. I consider you family. Like I said, blood doesn't make you family,
as do
loyalty
I.
does. But I am so proud of you, dude.
Thank you, bro.
And going on what you said, that people call you a pool boy.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say it. What's our last DM conversation that we had? I hit you up
Yeah.
because he was cleaning the pool and shit, and I was like, damn, bro, like, you need to teach me. And he was like, I'll teach you whatever you need. And I was like, bro, I need to find like a new
Trade.
trade.
Yeah.
In a sense, like I need to find something else, you know. And not saying that I'm not successful in the trade that I am, because I love all my clients, you know. I'm successful in what I am, but I see your brother, bro, and the way he moves, and it motivates me
No, facts,
to become
bro.
a better man.
Facts.
And that's a blessing, bro. Like I said, like it's perspective, the way you see things. It's really a blessing to have people view me like that. Like I said, I don't do things for myself. I do things for other people, so that other people can say, "Hey, I know that guy. Hey, that guy is a guy you want to look up to, right?" Like, and the way you say, like the way I move, I like I said, I'm active on social media, but I allow people to see what I want them to know, right? Like no one knows. And maybe it's a bad thing, but that's just the way I am. Like, I want people to know what I want them to know. Like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna know the stuff that I don't want you to know. You're not gonna know the stuff that the hardship that I go through. But you're not gonna know my losses. But you're not gonna know my biggest wins either,
Facts.
as well, right? And stuff like that, like being that to a kid, those are my biggest wins. Having kids call me and saying, "Hey, coach, I'm gonna take a girl on a date. Can I borrow your Mustang?" That's a win, bro. Because having a kid call me and say, "Coach, can you buy me a condom?" That's a win, bro. Because that's what makes you a man. That's what makes you someone that other people want to be. Like that's the biggest blessing, bro.
Like seeing the influence you have on
yeah,
them is everything.
seeing the, you know, freaking Brandon has me on TikTok and he texts me, "Coach, when's our next game?" Like it was like a heartbreak to, like, I didn't even respond, because how do you respond to him and say,
Yeah,
like,
of
"Yeah, we
course.
don't have a team no more," right? Like, but it is what it is.
Needless
like,
to say, Coach, can I borrow your Mustang? I want to take Chris out to
You got
get
it,
some
my boy.
beers.
You got it. It's a little broken. It's a little broken right now. I dog it every time I take it out, but you can borrow it for sure.
Nah, real shit, dude. We've had a blast having you on, and we could keep going on and on.
Yeah,
and
we
on.
I can go forever, bro.
Yeah.
You know, it's I feel like this podcast specifically goes back to the name, the Tailgate Talk.
Tailgate talk.
Yeah.
You know, like I said earlier, I alluded to it. We usually have a script to what we're gonna ask, what we're gonna talk about, and we even have like rapid fire and all this shit. But having you on, dude, having this podcast, I think we needed it. As far as me and Chris, because it does get a little hectic up here, bro. Like
Yeah,
it's a little like
lot of-
stressful, you know.
A lot of work for
Yeah, and having you on kind of brought me back down.
sure. Yeah.
Not back down to earth because I felt like I was high, but back down to earth as in like, hey, like
It's a refresher.
yeah, dude.
Bro. Facts. No, I feel the same way.
And we talked about your career in the Ysleta basketball team. We could sit here and talk, like I said, all day, dude.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
I am again super proud of you, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Super proud of you.
And last thing for me, like I'm proud of you guys, bro. Like I said, like there's no other way to be successful but to be consistent and to have discipline. And that's what you guys have been. You guys have been consistent and you guys have discipline. And discipline's a word that other people take as like oh, you got to be a hard ass, you got to get up and you got to do this and that and that. No, discipline just means showing up. Doesn't matter what you do. If you run half a mile, you run 10 miles. That's discipline because you're telling yourself you have to do it still, and you guys continue to do it. You guys are continuing to do it, and you guys don't care about what people are saying, good and bad, right? And you guys just keep your head down. You guys grind, like Rob said, like the blue collar mindset, and he's correct.
It's the best mindset to have.
That's my mindset.
100%.
Like I'm a gritty guy. I'm gonna get down. I'm gonna do the dirty work. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to do what I gotta do, to have what I want, to feed my reputation, to feed the people around me, right? And that's what you guys are doing with the podcast, and you guys got to keep doing it. And it's not necessarily blue collar, but it's hard work, and it takes consistency, and it takes discipline, and you guys have it right now.
Not just that, I feel like obviously discipline and consistency, but there's a big word. It's sacrifice. You know?
Look at that right there. Like you guys can't see this, but I got sacrifice tatted on my leg right there, bro.
So we're talking about
Just trying to show his
sacrifice.
ass to the camera. That's crazy work.
I know
But
y'all like that.
where I'm going with this is like, Chris, for example, your nephew, he has Jax at the house waiting for him. You know, has a wife, kids, sacrifice. I got my girl back here behind the camera. She works tomorrow. You know, it's sacrifice. It's things that you gotta sacrifice to do these things. In order for them to work, you gotta sacrifice.
And it's not even just our side of sacrificing, bro. It's your girl's side.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
My girl's side, bro.
Yeah.
Like doing the Ironman and stuff, bro. Like I didn't see my girl very much. Like
Shout out to Nina Adriana.
Yeah,
We love you.
You know, like I didn't see her very much, bro. She knew what it was like for me to have my schedule. Like I got off work, I went to the gym, I
hardly saw you, bro.
Yeah, like my brother always told me, "You're never home," and I'm like, "Bro, I'm training." And it was she would wait there, she would fold my clothes, bro, iron my work shirts. She would get my food ready for the day of work the next day. Like she did all that, bro. And it takes like your girl, like you said, like
Takes a
his
village.
wife. It takes everyone to sacrifice something.
Yeah.
Whether it's money, time, and I don't see money as a big thing in my life. I really don't. But time I do.
Yeah.
Time I do because time is
You can't put a
precious.
ti- you can't put a
Time is
price on
precious,
time.
and for like our girls to allow us to have the time to do what we got to do and be there still through thick and thin is, like I said, it's a
yeah.
blessing. It's a
For sure,
blessing.
and,
it really
and my
is.
girl's right here behind the cameras, but there's been certain times where I talk about the pod, right? And like she has the biggest fucking smile on her face. For example, that potential sponsor we have, right?
Yeah.
I told her about it, and she
that's
was so happy
that's
to hear
Shannon,
about
bro.
it.
Shannon said the same thing. That she was like, bro, that would be the sickest thing if you guys got it today
Yeah.
at my parents' crib, bro.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah,
sick,
no,
bro.
and of course, and again, sacrifice, right? Talking about training. I remember when I was training for my half, my other friend right here, Simon behind the cameras, would always call me a bitch. You know, sorry, I sacrificed a couple of beers, but it was sacrifice.
sacrifice,
It's
asshole.
sacrifice at the end of the day.
But like we talk about motivation and discipline, right? And it reminds me of that Canelo clip. I don't know if you guys seen that. He's on a podcast and he kind of talks about like motivation's one thing. Like watching a video, a hype video, and then getting motivated to go work out is one thing.
Oh,
But
yeah.
That don't win though.
like discipline is the difference. He's like
Exactly.
discipline is getting up Monday, you're at 100%. Tuesday, you're at 80%. but you give the 80%. That's still giving the 100% of whatever you have. You know,
Well,
let's say Wednesday 60%. He said you
Yeah.
give the 60% because that's the 100% you have for the day.
What's that clip that McGregor he said they asked him like what they said like a few years ago you said you were gonna be this and you are this, and he said I fell so in love with the game that it became me. It became my personality and it became who I was. And without this game, I didn't know who I was. And the reason why I fell so deep with it is because it took me to another level. Like, and that's who I'll always be. And I'm like, bro, that's what it is, bro.
Yeah.
And
I hope anybody watching
Like-
has a purpose, has a why. You know, you have discipline enough to follow that, to, you know, see it through. And whatever you're going through, like, you know, my brother's a living testament to that. You know, he was going through some stuff mentally, emotionally, and he decided to, you know, get out, put his nose on the grindstone and get after it. And, you know, you succeeded in a lot of things. You know, what you just did with an Ironman, 4 months training, 70.3 miles, bro, in the highest altitude, I think, Ironman in the entire United States.
yeah, that was
It's crazy. So,
And you know what's cool about that, bro? Is when Jesus Tovar was on here.
Yeah.
Shout out Tovar.
my boy. Hey, I just want to say that
we've had all your boys on,
all the
bro.
guys that have been on here, I just want to say that they're all my boys, bro. Like, I grew up with all of them, bro. Like Diego, bro. Like Tovad, bro. All those guys, bro. Like grew up all by them, bro.
But Tovad, we asked him this question, and we asked him, like, why did you keep going? You know, like, why do you keep working? And he's like, you have to find your why. You have to find your why. Like, why do you keep doing it? And he talked about how, like, he probably had like a bad game now or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he looked up in the stands and he saw his parents and he found his why. So I have my why, but I hope everybody behind this camera finds their why.
And that's dope that you say that, because Ironman, they're very big on like inspiration, and their thing is like I am, like you are whatever you want. I am an Ironman. I am whatever you are, whatever you can set your mind to, you are. But before most Ironman races, they have a speaker and he's talking to everybody, and he tells everybody like, everyone here has a purpose. Everyone here has a different story. Everyone here has the bad and the good. But before this race starts, what's your why? Why are you out here? Like, remind yourself before you start this race, like, what's your why? Why do you continue to go? Why? And that's a big thing, bro. Like, having your why and continuing to find your why, even if when you achieve your why, it keeps you going, bro. It's so sick. Bless
Well,
you, bro.
like Brandon said, we can be here for another couple hours talking to you, bro. But, you know, personally, obviously, as your older brother, you know, I want to say I'm proud of you. You know, keep striving, keep that mentality in a positive direction, and, you know, sky's the limit for you, bro. Truly, with the mindset you have, it's the world is your oyster, bro. So
yeah.
And you motivated 2 old motherfuckers to get after it, you
That's
know?
the only goal.
I'm putting it out into the world right now. I'm doing a 5150.
5150.
So it's a half of what this guy did, because I'm freaking overweight and out of shape. But I'm gonna get out of my ass, and I'm already 1 week in training. I'm gonna do it. I'm actually gonna film a documentary, bro. A years-long documentary. I'm gonna put it out once the race is over. I know we talked about it, bro. You're doing the full marathon. Is the Ironman something you want to do too?
Oh yeah, I'll do it with you, bro.
Let's do it then, man.
Let's
We're
get
putting it out into the world, man. So you guys hold us accountable. If we're being a little bitch, let us know we're being a little bitch.
And that's the coolest thing, bro, because when I first started my Ironman, my boy had just straight, last thing. My boy just straight said, like, all right, cool, do you want to do an Ironman? Like, I was like, let's do it. And he was just like, all right, cool, let's buy it. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, no, we buy it, we're going to do it.
We're going to do it, yeah,
And
facts.
we bought it, bro, and once you kind of buy the pass to do everything, like, there's no more.
So going to that, shout out my boy Rob Chavez. He's been a big
He
inspiration in my
follows
running.
the podcast.
Yes,
stuff
yes.
every day.
And he commented about the Del Valle
very,
picture.
very motivational, bro. Like, straight up. Like,
Yeah.
I get inspiration to go run from him, bro.
Yeah, so he's the one that told me, like, I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna post it on Instagram, and I'm gonna tag you. Your turn.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
And he did it. So I was like, you know what? Okay, let's do it.
That's the way to
But
do
going
it, bro.
going back to like what you said, right? Like having that motivation, that desire, like that purpose. Go do it. Like now I know, and then I signed up for a half marathon in November. The Flying Horse.
You have a reason to do
Now,
it.
now I know I have to. You know, tomorrow I have to get up, because if I don't get up tomorrow, and I say, oh, I'll do it next week. Next week it will never
Turn
come.
into next week, and then
Yeah.
next week will turn into next week.
So I get that 100%. I get that 100% because now I know tomorrow I gotta wake up, go run,
Got to.
go do it.
Even
But
if
I'm
it's
down-
not the best, it's still better than nothing.
I'm not the best swimmer, but I guess I'm gonna learn how to be the best swimmer.
No, it's not even about like being the best swimmer and everybody's and like against everybody. It's about being the best swimmer to yourself. You know,
100%.
better every day. Get better every day. That's all.
1%, break, right?
Yeah.
And then I told Chris this too, this whole podcasting, right? Me and Chris talk every day. And if there's one thing I've gained from this podcast, whether it gains a lot of traction, whether it doesn't, one thing I've gained from it is how close your brother and I have become.
I love
And
that.
I tell Chris, because Chris will be like, dude, we have like 100,000 views, but we only have this many likes. And it's like, nah, bro, brick by brick. Like, we'll get there eventually. Alludes to the same thing, right? Training every day, brick by brick. So,
Facts.
No, yeah,
you
for
gotta do
sure.
it.
No, but I appreciate you guys, and like I said, like I'm not very, very out about it. Like I said, I don't. At one point, I did, but I'm very open about what I do in my life, and I'm very, very into like prayer. Like prayer is a big one, and I think that God puts you in a position to succeed, but He doesn't give you this like the successfulness, right? So He'll put you somewhere, and He'll say, "Okay, I put you there, but you have to do your part, right?" And I think that's just like, it's a big blessing to be where we're at, you know, where we're sitting, all of us. Like it's just it's a blessing to be able to do this and to be able to just come with no stress, no problems, us three, and just have a conversation. It's a blessing. Thank you guys for having me on.
Of course, man. You know, like you said, like you alluded to, God, you pray for patience. God doesn't just give you patience. He gives you opportunities to be patient.
Yeah, well, this is one of my favorite prayers, or one of my favorite verses. It's don't ask God for a lighter burden. Ask God to allow you to carry a bigger burden, and that's one of the biggest ones, man. I thank God, and whenever people ask me how's your business going, I always say, or when they ask how's work going, I always say like it's stressful, but it's a blessing because it's everything that I ever asked for, you know.
Facts.
And God's just allowing me to carry a bigger burden, but I'm able to do it.
I can agree with that. There's days where I work 14, 15 hours, you know, and I sit here complain about it, but at the end of the day, I'm like, yeah, this is what I wanted. You know, this is what I asked for.
It's a blessing.
So I can't sit here and complain.
It's a blessing, bro.
Yep.
For sure.
Thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of Tailgate Talk. We appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to tbesports.net.
Shout out TBE.
Promo code WeHoo24 at checkout. Give Jacob a follow on Instagram. Give us a follow on Instagram. We'll see you guys later.
Later.
We were tailgate talking on a Sunday afternoon. So let's call up the boys, bring a case or two, cause we ain't got nothing to lose. I know we were tailgate talking on a Sunday afternoon.